Hello, Serious. Welcome back to the same network, Study Abroad Made Easy with Valin Ose. So guys, I don't know, but I believe you've seen the thumbnail and you already have an idea what this video is going to be about. So we're going to be basically talking about the American Tech Workforce Act of 2021. So pretty much, let me just give you a synopsis, but from what I've read so far, it seems like they're going to cut off OPT entirely, regardless of your STEM major student or not. So yeah. And then again, the H-1B visa is now going to be cut from 3 years to 1 year only. So I don't know what this is about, but I felt like, you know, when I read this news a couple of days back, I didn't know what to think about it. Like, I was almost like, oh my God, worried. In fact, I'm still worried because, I mean, it's a big blow on us international students, but I just felt like it's important that I carry you along on this journey. That's a better word or better phrase or anything. So yeah, we're going to read about this news together. We're going to explain what this is about and pretty much what is our fate as international students here in the US. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Okay. So what I did was pretty much come onto Google and I typed in American Tech Workforce Act on there in the search bar, and you can see a bunch of links right here. Most of them are already highlighted because I was trying to read up on it as well. So I also already quickly went ahead to open a couple of them that I felt were really very straight to the point and very, past the message like in less than a minute. So this one here is the one that says Chair Jim Banks introduces the American Tech Workforce Act to reform H-1B and end OPT. So now, if you don't understand how this works, in the US, they have the House of Representatives and they have the House of the Senate. So the House, if you want to before a bill goes into law, it has to be proposed in the House of Rep, and then when it passes that, when it's passed in the House of Reps, it moves into the House of the Senate. And it's only passed into law when it is approved by the House of Senate. So right now it's still a bill. It's not like a law yet. So I would say don't worry yet. Don't, but just be calm, because last year, I think I also shared a video where it was really hard for us. They were going to send us home. So I think everything now is like every year, there's almost like a bill that is almost passed into law for international students. So let's read on and see what this bill is about. So it says that Rep. Jim Banks, the head of the Republican Study Committee, so we have the Republicans and we also have like the Democrats, okay? So he's the head of the Republican Study Committee, and he's the one that proposed the bill. And he introduced a bill to reform the H-1B visa program to stop big tech's use of the visa to undercut the wages of American tech workers. So the reason why this bill is being introduced is to undercut, to reduce, to cut, to take away, that just eliminate, and maybe, that's America first, that dream. So that's what they're trying to live up to. So they want to, give as many jobs as possible to the local workers, if that makes sense. So the next paragraph says that the American Tech Workforce Act of 2021, which currently has 11 co-sponsors. So we have 11 co-sponsors in the House of Representatives that are also spearheading this bill. It would set a wage floor for H-1B visa holders at $110,000. Now, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, because if you check or read through the news, you know that would be very hard. So what they're saying is you are either going to pay H-1B visa holders $110,000 as the minimum wage, or equal to that being paid to Americans presently working in that field, and give priority for H-1B visas to employers who offer higher wages. Now, that is going to be very tough. So pretty much, because we know that this is going to be very tough, it's like saying, yeah, don't even do it at all. So that's what I'm getting from that paragraph, to be honest. So let's move on to this article here. It really explained it a lot more, so you can understand what's going to happen. So now, from here, it says a new bill, the American Tech Workforce Act of 2021, tabled in the US House of Representatives by, let me bring this down, by the Republican Congressman Jim Banks, proposes tougher H-1B visa norms, making it difficult for the American companies to hire foreigners and students. So it will become very hard. So one thing that bill is going to do is that it's going to make hiring internationals very hard, even tougher than it were. I mean, we international students were always complaining of finding a job. Not just the jobs are there, but getting sponsorship and all of that, it's really tough. Now, introducing this bill is going to make things even worse. So if you were like on a scale of, if it was on the scale of 50, now it's going to make it ×2 or ×3 tougher if this bill were to be passed into law. So understand that it's not yet a law yet. So now it says the bill seeks to eliminate OPT. OPT is optional practical training. I have a couple of videos on my channel where I've mentioned or explained what OPT means. So if you are taking a STEM major like cybersecurity, engineering, so STEM, science, tech, engineering, and mathematics. So if you're taking any of those majors, then it means that you're a STEM major. So for OPT for you will be 3 years. But if you're not a non-STEM major international student, then OPT for you is just 1 year. But what they're saying now is that this new bill, which is the American Tech Workforce Act of 2021, is going to eliminate OPT in total, regardless of you being, a STEM major or not. So it's going to clean off the OPT entirely. And the damage that is going to do to international students is, when you come here, you spend so much money. It's either through loans, sponsorship, family, you borrow land and all of that. We know the story. So what OPT does for you as an international student is like, it helps you to, regain or make back the money that you invested into the country, if not all, but at least all or most of the money during the period of your OPT, because you're hired, you're being paid, and you can pay off your loans or your debts. But if they take off this OPT, it means how then will you be able to recover all the money that you put into the system? And we know that international students, we contribute so much to the economy. So if they take that away, then that's really much a big deal for us international students. So that's one of the things that the bill is set to eliminate, which is OPT. So it's a procedure. So I already explained what the OPT means. So it says, besides the bill supported by American Principles Project, APR, and FAIR, and the numbers UAR, they also propose to bring down the period of H-1B visas sponsored by third-party companies from 3 years to just 1 year. So if you're not aware, the H-1B visa is for 3 years, and then you have the option to extend it for an additional 3 years. So altogether, it's 6 years. But what they're saying right now is that, okay, we want to cut this H-1B visa from 3 years to 1 year. So 2 things that you can take away from the bill is, first, they want to eliminate OPT entirely. So when you graduate, no OPT. It's either you get a job or you go back to your home country, period. And then the second thing is that it's going to eliminate the H-1B visa duration from 3 years to 1 year. Now, that is, I don't know what to say, but that is a lot to take in. So people should be worried right now. I mean, yes, naturally and realistically, as an international student, you should be worried. But again, is this feasible? Is this going to be done? Is this going to be passed into law? I mean, if I want to remain positive, I doubt so, because there's just so much that is going to happen if this is passed into law. It means that most jobs are going to be outsourced, not just domestically, but internationally. Reason being that, most Americans are not in tech, and the people in tech, they're going to be going back to their home countries. And most international students, aspiring international students, will not come to the US. They'll either go to Canada, countries where they have the option to stay back after visa, after their program, and also get the option to become permanent residents in that country, like Canada. Even the UK now, you can stay back after your graduation to work for 2 years. So why would you want to come to a country where the moment you graduate, you don't have that option to stay back and gain experience, which is very key, and then be able to even recover some of the money that you've put into the system as well. So I'm a little worried right now. So yeah, if you're worried and you're in my position, don't worry. We will see how this plays out in the future. But just, stay positive and keep checking on this page. Ensure that you're subscribed if you haven't already, because if there's an update, I'll definitely share it in this in my channel. So the other provisions of the bill include introducing a wage floor compensation for H-1B visa recipients. So the wage floor compensation, which is what we talked about earlier when we read the other article, it says that the minimum wage for H-1B visa holders should be $110,000. Okay, or the equivalent of what is paid to an American worker that is in that same field. So whichever one is higher, that's what they are proposing, that H-1B visa holders should be paid. All right, so that is what it is right now. Okay, So they asked Jim Banks, who is the person that introduced the bill, some sort of question, and his response was this. So in an official statement, he said that big tech is setting aside some of the most lucrative and valuable career opportunities in America and giving them exclusively to foreign guest workers. They are cutting out Americans to save a few bucks. It's domestic outsourcing. So his argument is that most tech companies, they keep these very lucrative and juicy jobs for internationals, and they're not offering those same, opportunities to American workers, which they feel is not being patriotic to the citizens. And so they want to cut off that, whatever it is that they called it, by the tech company. So that's why he's proposing the bill. And he's saying that if this bill is approved by the House, it would then be moved to the House of Senate for clearance. Remember, I said that, at this point, nobody should be that worried, because before anything is passed into law in the US, it's going to practically go through the House of Rep. If it's passed there, then it's going to go through the House of Senate for it to be cleared. And once it's cleared in the House of Senate, then it means that it will become law. But at this point, it's not law. So we should be, we should not necessarily be worried, just be praying that things work out. And I feel like, if we're looking at things realistically, it just makes a lot of sense that this might not necessarily work. It's neither here nor there. I'm just saying what I think, my opinion. It's not like I'm an immigration lawyer or anything, but I'm just putting it out there. If you think about it, if you check it out, there's just so much that will not add up when this is passed into law. So chances are that it might not even pass into law, because how would you expect people to come here to study when they cannot stay back to gain experience and even get jobs and pay back their loans? So you're practically taking away the return on investment. The reason why people pay so much money to come to the US or any country, as it were, is because there's return on investment. You cannot, buy, groceries. The return on investment for buying your groceries, that you get food, you get to eat what you want to eat, that satisfaction is there. But if you take away that satisfaction, then what is the point? So I don't think it might, work out that way. So that's what I think, in my personal opinion. So let's just, at this point, I'm going to stop sharing. All right, guys, so this is the end of this video. I just wanted to put this out there just so you're aware of what's going on. And yeah, if you want to know more, if you want to stay updated, then of course subscribe to my channel and give us a huge thumbs up. If there's any update that comes along, I'll definitely share it, if not here, on our Instagram page as well. So ensure that you're following us on Instagram at the same network. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, and Merry Christmas. Bye, guys.